What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? It's Colin here on day 23 of my 30-day challenge. So you remember yesterday when I talked about learning my lesson from talking to somebody who's on the phone? Well, apparently I didn't learn that lesson. So later on in the day, I was at a restaurant and I saw somebody on her phone again, and she was really cute, and I still only had 4 conversations for the day, so I thought, come on, one more, who can't really hurt? So I went up to her and I was like, hey, I couldn't tell if she might be listening to her voicemail, and I was like, hey, and she's like, oh, I'm on the phone. She didn't say that, but she gave me this death glare, and so I was like, all right. And so I did my coffee thing, and then I noticed later she wasn't on the phone, so I went back up to her. Now, let me tell you, in the past, I would have left that situation alone and be like, oh, she gave me the death glare, I am not going to go talk to that girl. She does not look like a fun person to talk to. But I've been developing these skills over the past however many days, and I decided to go do it anyway. So I went up to her, despite how angry I thought she might be for trying to talk to her again for a second time, and I just said, hey, looks like you're not on the phone. I just, wanted to introduce myself. And then I got a little closer, and I realized that she was crying. Tears were streaming down her face. She's like, oh God. And I freaked out. Oh my God. I panicked. I was just like, oh my God. But I already introduced myself, and I already said that I thought she was cute, and because that I saw as soon as I moved closer. So I was like, oh my God. And I got really awkward, and I did not know what to say or do. So I just kind of froze for a second, and then, in the past, I would have just peaced out. I would have been like, I'm so sorry, and then ran. But what I've been working on is staying in these awkward situations and looking potentially for, staying in the conversation, potentially being rejected. So, I didn't want to offend her, but I just kind of stayed in the conversation, and I was just like, wow, I'm sorry. This is probably a really inappropriate time to come talk to you, and it looks like it might be boy problems. And she's like, yeah. Well, she's not on the phone, but yeah. So I was like, I went through a breakup pretty recently too, and I just told her that, hey, I've been through the same thing. It really sucks. I totally got my heart broken, and maybe I'll tell you guys about that one of these days. And, she just was kind of warmed up to it, and I just gave her some solid old advice there from a seasoned dumpy, and she, was started smiling a little bit, and, I didn't want to be totally inappropriate, so I just was like, hey, you probably, this is probably, I was going to ask you for your number, but this probably would be a terrible time to do that. And she didn't say anything, and so I just let her know, hey, I'm willing to give you my number if you want to chat. I don't know where your situation is. And she kind of just said that, oh, I work next door, and I come here fairly often. You should just come here, and maybe we'll run into each other. So it was basically a good no, but I was just so proud of myself for actually staying in that conversation, not running away, because I actually made her day despite how she was upset, and I think she started smiling and she started feeling a little better, it looked like. So I just was so glad that I did that, despite the that looked like it could have been really bad. So and then let's see, the rest of the day I was kind of working a coffee shop and running up to people on the street. Everyone seemed to be engaged or married yesterday, so it was the engaged marriage day, and I noticed that I'm still, I'm running up to the street, and this seems to be the most effective thing, is when I walked up to the person on the street, and every time I'm bringing my energy level, I'm saying the same thing, and yet I still am just getting across the board responses. Second person I talked to was like, oh my God, I'm so flattered, I'm engaged, and then, we talked for a while, and then the next person after that was super cold, barely looked up while she was texting on her phone, yeah, I'm engaged, all right, see you later, creep. And so it was funny how the contrast was, even though I wasn't as warmed up on the second one as I was on the third person, still getting totally cold responses. So I'm just really realizing, for any of you out there who want to talk to people on the street, you really have no idea what they're going to say, and you might as well just go do it. And if it does turn out to be a train wreck, it's, they could have been having a bad day. Maybe they just got dumped, so you really just don't know. And the worst that's going to happen is, I don't know what the worst is going to happen. They're going to say no, and it's really not going to be that bad, and you're going to go on with your life, and you're gonna be happier that you did it in the end. So, let's see. Lastly, people have been really interested, as before, if I'm talking to or telling people that I'm hanging out with about this thing, and like how early do I tell them? Do I tell them while I'm texting, or do I tell them like when we first meet up? Well, in this situation, there was this person that I've been trying to meet up with for a while. Our schedules have been conflicted, and she decided that she would not hang out with me until she knew my full name so that she could Facebook stalk me. So she gave me hers, and I thought, well, I would rather tell her about this in person, but maybe I'm just gonna show her it on my Facebook. She's clearly gonna see it, so let's see what happens. So I added her on Facebook, and I was kind of like waiting for her text and be like, like, what's this 30-day challenge? Just like saying something about it. And then I got text from her about hanging out, and so far, nothing about the 30-day challenge. So I have no idea if she actually knows about it, and she's not saying anything, or she doesn't know about it. So I am really excited to hang out with that person to like see where she's at, and if I actually do have to tell her about it, because maybe she missed it somehow. It's only all over my Facebook page. I don't know. Anyway, so it was a really unique situation that I'm excited for coming up. And anyway, that's all I got. So thanks for tuning in, and I will keep you posted on the journey. Oops. Later.